Hello, ST. My name is Shigga Shay. I'm a rapper from Singapore, and this is my new single, Overachieve. You know what's up? So what is me? What they are two? Means don't you think? Figured it out. They never believe. Truth just up for the whole world to see. You know what's up? So what is me? What they are two? Means don't you think? They want me down. I overachieve. Truth just up for the whole world to see. 我不是天生的王者，但我骨子里流失犀利的血液。那些试图在我背后捅刀子的，我该跟他们说谢谢。因为有了这些笑容，我才学会了人不可轻易相信，人不可貌相，海水不可斗量。We all different, fighting for the same dream. I was gone, but I'm back again. 东山再起 I'm better than I've ever been. If I fall 10 times, I'ma get up 11. 就算黑天摸地下都看不见，不走不闹。精疲力竭的昨天也会不停地跑。Look at me now. 我就是来给他们生涯画上句号。当你真的需要他们的帮助的时候，有谁伸出援手？听够了他们的甜言蜜语，嘴里只为他们一堆借口，那不能够接受。两面三刀的把戏，只要你有勇气做你自己 ，You could become what you dream to be。做我的使命，我都要做，命中注定。Figured it out, they never believe. Truth is up. For the whole world to see. You know what's up? So what is me? What they all do? Me don't do things. They want me down. I overachieve. Truth is up. For the whole world to see. Dollar gotta make it other gotta ain't no other what the other what the mother 这是我的命 Tell a brother 管你怎么觉得也跟世界人给一个不同实力谁也不能否定音乐来自我的心仔细聆听我的 heartbeat 不是个 machine Ain't no in between 人是不顾是否人下 Everything is not how it seems 他们就像你 like that 不问 be just like that 自己有的梦想怎么可能袖手旁观呢他们也 like that 希望你们把我意思让我来给你举个例子 Hip hop 带的这股气势中文说唱代表文化的历史 Yeah You know what's up做我的使命，把这要做，命中注定。Figured it out, they never believe. Truth is just up for the whole world to see. You know what's up? 做我的使命，把这要做，命中注定。They want me down, I overachieve. Truth is just up for the whole world to see.当你真的需要他们的帮助的时候，谁伸出援手？听够了他们的甜言蜜语，嘴里撒满了堆借口，那不能够接受。两面三刀的把戏，只要你有勇气做自己 ，You can become what you dream to be。
Hi, you're with us in Music Lab, where we invite music acts to the studio. I'm Eddino Abdul Hadi, and I have here with me Shigga Shay. Shigga is one of Singapore's most accomplished hip-hop artists, a rapper, songwriter, and producer who's been making music for about 16 years now. Hi Shigga, welcome to our studio.
Hello.
How are you?
Thank you for having me. That was such a formal introduction.
Alright, so you're back in Singapore right now, but you've spent a good part of this year in China as the first Southeast Asian and Singaporean to appear on Rap of China. Would you say that that was your biggest exposure out of Singapore so far?
I think that would be fair enough to say. I think last year when I went on Rap of China as a special guest, I think that was the first time where I think I got
exposed to the in a sense of to the audience.
Right. You were not a contestant last year.
Last year I wasn't a contestant, but I was a special guest, but still competing as a special guest. So
Okay.
yeah,
So there was still a competitive element to it when you appeared last year. Okay.
I think the reality shows in China all have like competitive elements to it. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that was. I think it's right to say that it's. I think the first time where I got my music introduced to like a mass audience outside of Singapore.
How would you sum up your experience on the show?
I mean, being a foreigner on the show, it's definitely a learning experience. But I mean, this year is a lot different from last year. And last year, it was more of a preferential treatment, right? I mean, like, because it's as a special guest.
Yeah.
But this year is more like on a contestant basis where it's like open to the masses, you know. And I think that it was definitely an interesting experience. I think that it was a huge learning journey for me too. Like last year it was my first time like stepping into mainland China. I've never been to mainland China in my whole
you've
life.
Never been?
So last year was my first time, and that was like the first time I was introduced to the entire market and industry and seeing how they work behind the scenes and how they ran a production which was on a scale that was, you know, I've never seen a production on a scale like that before I went there. And seeing how they work and seeing the talents work in that competitive environment, it also, you know, I guess re-inspired that hunger that I had when I was 17. And yeah, I think that it being in the environment gave me the opportunity to improve my proficiency in the language also as well, in Mandarin. And it gave me the opportunity to introduce my music to an entirely new audience, a huge audience, which is very susceptible to hip-hop, like Mandarin hip-hop in particular.
And rap of China has been around for like how many years already?
It's been around since 2017.
Okay, so it's been a while.
And like going on the show, like even on last year and this year in general, like I know I'm not gonna win, you know, and going on to the top 40 of this year is more like, it's just to introduce myself as an artist again. You know, last year was just a glimpse, and this year is like more of I got to, you know, do different songs that I've never showcased before, and a different side of me in a way. So yeah, and I think, you know, when we previously spoke, I mentioned that as well too. It's just to really introduce myself, because I'm technically a new artist in China.
To the China market.
Yeah, definitely. So and that's basically what I did, you know, to go on the show, to introduce my music to them and work with all these new up and coming and also huge new artists too in that are from China, you know. So being in that environment where, and that scene, and being immersed in the culture, I think also influenced my music, quite a bit, you know.
Okay, tell us about the audition experience. What you had to do to get into the show.
What I had to do to get on the show.
I heard the audition was pretty long. Was very
the acapella, right?
You're talking about
the first one, right? So I mean, the acapella was about like 700 over contestants.
So you were competing against 700
over contestants, 750 maybe. It was a lot of people. I've never seen so many people in one room since BMT and NS. So it was definitely quite an experience, and I would see a lot of rappers that I've never met before, that I recognize too as well. A lot of established rappers came too as well, and a lot of old friends, some of which I've only met online also as well, that I got to meet. And it was a really interesting experience, because it was the first time in my life that I got to hear so many different Chinese dialects in one room. So you would have like the Sichuan dialect, you would have the the Beijing dialect, you would have the Fujian dialect, which is like Hokkien, and the Cantonese. So it's like all different dialects in one room, but they're all there to rap. So I got to see so many different types of rappers that are really hungry. I've never seen that type of hunger in a long time, and super competitive. And a lot of them have like hundreds and millions of streams on the various streaming platforms.
They already have their audience.
They already have their audience, yeah. So I mean, I'm talking about platforms in China like NetEase, your Douyin and stuff like that. And they're already like, headlining festivals in China and all. And I'm going in basically as a completely new artist, and prior to that, I've never released a Chinese album before. So, most of my music was all in English. So, most of them knew who I was because of last year's show. So, last year's show.
Season,
yeah. But they just know of me from that, but they don't really, in a sense, like know me in a familiar, in-depth kind of way. So I think this year, being in that environment with them and going through all the challenges, like going through the hard stuff, it kind of like made the bonding a lot faster too. So we were filming for like 36 hours straight, no sleep.
No sleep.
And I've never done a shoot like
700
that.
people, you were like number what?
I was the last group.
You were the last group, so you had to sit
group.
down there for 36 hours and wait for your turn.
Yes. So, and they don't tell you, So basically, you wait there, and then like during the meal times, they confiscate your phones.
Oh dear.
So it's really like NS. They confiscate your phones, and you have no sense of time because there's no clock.
What?
So the lights are always this bright, and because they're filming, right? And then it's in basically imagine like a exhibition hall, like a stadium that's partitioned into half a stadium, sort of, to house the 750 people, and then you pick the specific mentor that you want to for them to judge you, basically, and then you end up in that group, and then you wait for like until your turn, lah. So basically, we all wait at the top of the benches, and then they have numbers in the middle, and then when they'll read out your name, and every contestant has a number, it's like printed on. So they'll read out your number, your name, and then the number that you're supposed to stand on in the middle. Then they'll read, this the next round we have blah 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 blah, and then everybody will go down one by one. So it's like very WWE kind of, And then you go down there and you wait for your turn, and the judges, the mentors, they'll go round by round, and they listen to you, and then they like you, they give you the chain. They don't like you, they walk away. So
if they give you the chain, it means you're through.
You're through, yeah. So there were a lot of like established rappers too that didn't make it through as well. Which was shocking to everyone, shocking to me too. I'm a fan of some of them too, but some of them what happened was like might have a hiccup that they maybe because you don't sleep for 24 hours, expected to rap
36 hours. That's more than a day.
Yeah. So this is like we're talking about the TV crew. They haven't had sleep. The mentors, the judges, they haven't had sleep. The contestants haven't had sleep. So everyone is like functioning on like super, in a fatigue kind of like state, right? And anything can go wrong, So a lot of the people that got eliminated too is like quite a pity, that they got eliminated at acapella.
Why do you think you got through?
Why do I think I got through? I think I right place, right time, and
obviously your audition you stood out from the rest. What did you do during your audition? It was half Mandarin, half English, right?
Half Mandarin, half English. They cut out some of the parts, actually. It was a lot longer than that.
Okay.
So I did half completely in English and half completely in Mandarin. And this was something that the producers of the show, they wanted me to do also as well, to showcase like
the bilingual
aspect of what I do, because I think that was what made me stand out as a Singaporean too. Like there's something that I bring different to the table, because basically doing English. I pretty much met all the contestants that went through also as well, and I've worked with some of them. I am working with more of them too as well, and a huge audience got to know about my music and connect with me, and I think that the whole experience was it was worth it lah, in a sense, like if I know that I was going to make it to the top 40 of the show, I would still take part in it, because like I think when we last spoke, I was like, I know I'm not going to win this because I'm a foreigner, and
so you were not expecting to
definitely
be the champion
not.
of the show.
Yeah, because I mean, I think there's some things that I can't talk about, but like, I think that not everything is scripted, but I think that some things are inevitably has to be scripted because it's a TV show, right? And so I think that it was definitely worthwhile because it gave me the exposure and the promotion that I never would have gotten if I didn't go on the show. Yeah.
How long were you in China for to film this
there
show?
for a few months, like
Earlier
2
this year.
months plus. Yeah. But even after the show, I was like still there, going back and forth.
And you're still doing it. You told me you're
I'm
going
still-
back to China next week, right?
Yes, I'm
What are
going
you
to
doing?
Shanghai next week.
What are you doing now in China?
I'm working on my Chinese mixtape, and I have 2 parts of the mixtape. So it's like this mixtape that I'm about to release in September has like
This is Hanyu Pinyin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Hanyu Pinyin is a mixtape series that I'm doing.
Okay.
And you
Can you explain to us what a mixtape is? Some people might confuse it with an EP or an album. Or
Right. So a mixtape essentially in hip hop, it's basically, look at it as a playlist. An album is more conceptual, where the story, the sound from
They're all
start to
connected to
end,
each other.
everything connects sonically and lyrically also as well.
Yeah.
And a mixtape to a certain extent does that too as well. But I think the term mixtape gives it more space for the songs to be loosely intertwined in that sense. So it's more like a collection of songs that I personally feel that I curated to be in this particular project, which Hanyu Pinyin Part 1 has. It's like the songs that I've worked on in these past 4 years, and my journey into Chinese hip hop, and it's still a lot of storytelling and all that, but like I think it gives more room for me to kind of put in the songs that I personally want to put in. Like, I guess a mixtape is like a playlist.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you see this as an introduction of who Shigga Shay is to your audience in China, like a brand new audience?
Yeah, definitely. But I think like besides China, my audience worldwide, my audience that has already been with me or like all these years, this is for them as well. Because like like from the mixtape title Hanyu Pinyin, it's a bilingual blend of where I come from, the stories that like my purpose and my message is at the end of the day still the same. Talking about where I come from, the stories of a HDB kid that speaks English, Singlish, Mandarin, Hokkien, and right now it's like I'm packaging it in a way for the palette of a global audience to kind of like digest and understand, like, oh wow, this is actually a story from Singapore, like when you actually listen to it.
Okay. So inside this mixtape, how many languages are there? What do you put in?
There's English, Mandarin, and Hokkien. Yeah, so not so much English in this mixtape. But you have songs that I like Bobe Chow, which I released last year, and Bobe Chow is a term that is like only familiar to Singapore and Malaysia. But right now, if you go to the KTVs in China, there's Bobe Chow there.
Okay.
And it's technically it's a Hokkien word, but like we if you look up Wikipedia, Bobe Chow is in a word they consider English too.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like using my own way to kind of introduce my city's culture to the world. Yeah, in a way.
And you also perform for us Overachieve. That's a song from the mixtape as well, right?
Yes.
Can you talk about that song?
Overachieve 出奇制胜 is I guess it's a song that I think with the entire mixtape, in every song I try to leave clues in English also as well. As much as I sprinkle it majority in Chinese and Mandarin, I leave English clues inside for my audience that's been listening to my music in the past 10 years already. So you kind of like even though it's a Chinese song, from the English bars and the punchlines that you pick up in the song, you can kind of assume and the context of the entire song, the story of the entire song. So same for Overachieve, you know, like certain lines in the song where I like I was gone, but I'm back again. 东山再起, I'm better than I've ever been. If I fall 10 times, I'm gonna get up 11. 就算黑天摸地下都看不见. You know, so it's like from the English words, even if you don't understand Chinese, you kind of understand the context of like, it's like, oh, you fall down, you get back up. You know, you're fighting for your dream, you're fighting for your goal, and you're not gonna give up no matter how many times you fail. You know, because I think failure is the part of the process and part of the journey too. So, you know, Overachieve is essentially about that. And me speaking to my 16-year-old self and to...
That's when you started, at 16.
I mean, I started recording at like 14. Yeah, but I think at 16 was when I uploaded my first YouTube video.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and I really was trying to crack MySpace.
And right now you are 31?
Right now I'm 31. Yeah, 31. Turning
That's
32.
like half your life already, you know.
Yeah, man. Half my life already, man. You know, tell me about it, you know. Yeah, it's been a long time. A long time. But yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, like I understand that you got into rap music, into hip hop even earlier at a very young age. You know, what led you to want to become a rapper? How old were you when you discovered hip hop records and music?
When I first discovered hip hop and rap, I was 9.
9 years old.
I was 9, and
how do you? Was it on the radio, MTV, CDs?
It was actually CDs. So my mom, she bought like a compilation CD of the biggest hits of 2001 because I was 9 at 2001, and then you had like Britney Spears, you had Justin Timberlake, a whole bunch of hits.
Yep.
And then one of the songs happened to be Eminem's "Cleaning Out My Closet."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a song about him hating his mom. But like, I mean, I love my mom. But like, so she just played it in the hi-fi system, you know.
At home.
At home. Back then, you still had CDs,
hi-fi,
right? Yeah. So played it on the system, and then like it would just keep looping like the 20 songs, right? So every time it went on to the Eminem song, I'm like, I was just so intrigued. I like, it sounds different from all the other pop songs, but it's still so catchy and easy to listen to, and he doesn't really sound like he's singing, but he's doing it in a melodic kind of way. He's not really talking either. So that was when I first discovered rap. I'm like, what is this thing?
Yeah,
you know, he's not really singing, he's not really talking, he's doing something in between, you know. And I was just so intrigued that like I just wanted to mimic whatever the record was doing. So back then, you didn't have genius.com where you could check out lyrics so instantly, right? So I had to listen, and then I kept
out what Eminem was saying.
Yeah, figure out what he was saying, and then I'll write it down and guess what he was saying, like, you know. And then that was so fun for me. And then from Eminem, I got really digging like taking a deep dive into his music from the Eminem Show, and then going back to the Marshall Mathers LP and Infinite and all that, like the whole catalog, and then discovering his whole crew, right? You know, Dr. Dre, D12, G Unit, 50 Cent, and then from there going to the whole West Coast hip hop, Snoop Dogg, NWA, Tupac, Biggie from the East Coast, and then going to Jay-Z, Nas, and all this, and slowly just like deep dive. It was almost like that was my introduction, but then into the school of hip hop. But then after that moment, I just kept digging crates, and I just found so much love in doing that, like discovering, like I guess treasures of hip hop, which until today these are still
Your go-to music.
I guess, I mean, it will always be
Your foundation.
the golden basically like the golden grail of like hip hop music in a sense, and they are the greats, and I would always study the greats to learn, right? And that was essentially what I was doing since 9, but not essentially not in a sense where I was trying to be a rapper, but more like I just love doing this so much, and I want to keep doing it, and I have no other reason.
Do you remember the early lines that you wrote? Like what? How did you start writing?
It was horrible.
Lyrics? But you must have been very good with words, right? I mean, the thing about being a rapper is that.
Yeah, but I think that took time.
Okay.
I wasn't born like just good with words. I think it was a long process where, between 9 to 14, I was just listening to so much raps and just like rapping aloud, even in class, and just doing it as a fun thing, right? And I think only when I was 14, then there was when I was like, I performed for my father's birthday party, like for the family. It's like a small little birthday party, and then like it was his 50th birthday, and my father had a twin brother, my uncle. So they celebrated their birthday together, and then I think my father was like, "Hey, why don't you perform? You like to rap so much, right?
Oh.
And then
Your own song?
No, that wasn't my own song. That was some Eminem song, I think. Eminem and 50 Cent song.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it goes like, if you na party, alright, let's not tonight. Something like that.
Exactly remember.
Yeah. But I performed that song, and that was the first time I performed to like an audience, right? And then I was like,
at 14.
wow, I like this. I love the feeling of performing. Even if it's to 5 people. So, and I remember that year also, I think I went to audition for like the Teachers' Day
concert in school.
Yes,
right,
yeah.
okay.
So that was the first time I, performed on a stage.
Okay.
And then that was when I was like, wow.
What did you sing? What did you?
That one I wrote.
Oh, you wrote your own.
That one I wrote myself already.
For your teacher?
Kind of. Yeah. It's like I took like some Jay-Z beat, and then I just
freestyle.
No, not freestyle. I wrote lyrics down, and like mentioning all the some teachers' names, some things in school, some like fun stuff, and performed it in school. And I think people didn't know that I could rap, and I was a really shy kid.
And this was what, Sec 2? Like 14?
This was like Sec 2, Sec 3, yeah, somewhere around there. And then.
But you were shy in school, so it was a surprise for many people.
Yeah. I was shy and I was bullied. But after they knew I would rap, like nobody bullied me anymore. Everybody became friends. Yeah.
Right,
but before that, I wasn't really. Yeah, I was like the shy kid. I didn't talk too much. I always kept to myself. Yeah. So.
How did you come up with the Shigga Shay name, and when was it? Were you already performing as Shigga Shay? So 14 years old.
Yes. So I was performing as. I think when I first performed, I wasn't performing as Shigga Shay yet, but I came up with the name when I was 14. Basically, I think after that performance. Why Shigga Shay? So I mean, my real name is Jin. So obviously, like there's already a legendary rapper, MC Jin, who I got to meet last year on the show as well. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, he influenced so much of me, because when I was like 14, I would watch his battle raps on BT and Freestyle Friday and all that, and I wanted to be a battle rapper too, so I was like,
but you can't use notes already.
Yeah, I can't use Jin. So I was like, when I went on stage in school, I was still calling myself. I think only when I was 15 then I like kind of debuted like Shigga Shay, the name, in school.
Right.
Yeah, but like before that, I was like Mr. Jin.
Mr. Jin.
Just Mr. Jin, and then, but it got to a point where I was like, okay, MC Jin his legacy is untouchable, so I don't want to like clash with him, so I even told him this story, like when I met him, I was like, yo, did you know like my name is Shigga Shay because
Jin is already taken.
Jin is already taken, and it was you, and he was like, oh, but
yeah,
so the name essentially stands for like from the Chinese word like 你到底是个谁, which came to me in a dream, and then like,
in a dream.
in a dream,
Wow,
and then
okay.
because before that I was Mr. Jin, right? And
Yeah.
then like when I came out with this name Shigga Shay, my father would like always make fun of me, and then he would keep saying like, hey, Shigga Shay,
Oh,
what are you doing,
okay.
Shigga Shay? Like he would tease me in a fatherly way, like
Yeah.
not to put me down,
Yeah.
but more like I think he just found it interesting that his son could rap, yeah, because my family has no musical background at all.
Okay.
My entire family tree, my entire family tree. So yeah, so and actually, if you listen to my track from 2015 called Everybody, I actually sampled my father's voice. Like,
Okay.
yeah, like saying Shigga Shay, constantly
Right,
making fun of me, like Shigga Shay. So it's
You actually
something-
recorded that?
he was actually recording me.
Oh, he was
recording
you
me
on video.
Yeah, on video, and he
Oh,
was like,
right,
"Come
and
on,
his
Shigga
voice
Shay,
came-
what are you doing, Shigga?" Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like,
And the name stuck for you.
yeah, and the name, like, I mean, I guess it has a certain amount of like
What does it mean again? You're saying it's a Chinese
Chinese word
phrase?
like 你到底是个谁? Like 是个谁 is like who is it? Basically, if you type it on Google Translate, it comes out as who is it? But essentially, like as like, I mean, if you say in a sentence, it's not a very nice thing to say. Like 你到底是 like who do you think you are? Like kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, at that point, I mean, nobody knew who I was, so I felt like that was it was a fun name to, because for him, my father, it was a fun name for him to like keep saying also. So yeah, and it stuck with me since then. Shigga Shay, and when I was like 16, I started recording my mixtape, Shigga Shay's in the Building mixtape, and I uploaded it on MySpace. And then,
MySpace.
MySpace. Yeah, and I would come home from school and like start spamming all the different pages with my music. All the different, hey, check out my music. I would like message these labels, these artists, and all that. So a lot
From
of
around the world?
around the
labels
world,
from
around the world, and local bands too.
And you were
Right.
doing exclusively in English, right? Back then, you
Yes.
haven't started doing
Mandarin.
stuff in Mandarin yet.
Yeah, I only did Mandarin in 2013. That was the first time.
That's quite recent. I mean, that's not too long ago. It's like
That's more than 10 years.
more than 10 years. But for the good part of the first part of your early years, it was just English.
Just
all the way.
English. Yeah, all the way it was just English. And but I did listen to some Chinese
Okay.
hip hop, but that was like Jay Chow, Machi, MC Hot Dog, who was the judge this year. So
And Rap China.
Rap China, yeah, and I think my command of English was a lot better than my Chinese lah. So I think naturally, I
Back then lah.
Yeah, back then I picked up the genre from listening to English rap.
Right.
From
Eminem,
from Eminem and all that. So yeah, and then so putting music on MySpace, and then after that getting featured on World Star Hip Hop. That was
an international platform, wasn't it? For rappers from around the world.
Yeah, that's the biggest platform for like at that point in time for like hip hop, from music videos to viral videos, fight videos, everything. Yeah, so all of a sudden one day I woke up and they featured my video, which I filmed, got my classmate to film for me. I edited myself. That was
What
the first
year was
music
this?
video. That was 2010, I think.
And you were still in secondary school.
No, I was in the first year in poly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first year in poly. So I got my poly classmate to
film.
help me film, and then like I asked my lecturer, Mr. Low. He taught me how to use Final Cut to edit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I filmed, and then I edited one version. That was the first time directing and editing a music video. And then he was like, "Hey, this looks like a news report, man, your music video." So he was like, "I think you should shoot it again." Then I went to shoot it again, and then that version that I shoot it again, it was called On My Grind. And then that was the version that got featured on World Star Hip Hop as like they put like unsigned talent of the week, 17-year-old rapper from Singapore, yada yada yada. And then all of a sudden there was this attention from like the online space, and
Right.
yeah,
The online hip hop community.
the
back
online
then.
hip hop community, so it was like, it was Lil Duval, he heard about me from there. I think Lil Duval is like this famous black comedian who's like internationally known. Yeah. But he started following me from then until today. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that gave me some sort of encouragement too, to continue doing what I do, even though there was no like lucrative income. Yeah. But also because of that, like MySpace and uploading my first song on YouTube at that point in time, releasing my mixtape, I got the opportunity to do NDP for the first time also as well.
Okay.
In 2010.
In what capacity?
As a rapper.
As a rapper?
Yeah. So I
like
got
the actual NDP show itself.
Actual NDP show. Yeah. It was at the Padang, I remember. And Taufik was singing the theme song that year. And then I think Cesari was involved also. Silvio Ratanel, all the OGs, and then...
and you were new back then.
I was like 17. Right? Yeah, super new. I remember like I ran up to Taufik and gave him my mixtape. Yeah, and I gave Cesari my mixtape too at that point in time,
All the Singapore idols.
Yeah, all the Singapore idols, So yeah,
were you in school back then? Were you in...
I was in...
17, you were still be in poly?
Yeah, first year. Poly first year, but very early part of the first year in poly. Yeah. So... yeah, man. So from there it was just and then 2010, and then after that, fast forward to 2012, I enlisted, and then this is when before I enlisted, I put out my first EP. They call me Shigga EP, and this is where I featured Vanessa Fernandez and did the song with her. Don Richmond helped me out with that project too as well on the Noise Singapore thing. Right. Yeah.
Okay. So at which point did you decide that music was something that you wanted to do as a career and not just like on the side?
I think I something I decided when I was 14 to myself. Kind of told my parents like I wanna be a rapper and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know how I'm gonna make this a career, but I just know that I have to do it.
And you've been doing it since then, right? You've never taken on any other jobs? Or,
no, I mean I do direct here and there, lah.
Right.
Yeah,
but it's still within the music.
Within the music realm, because if I direct, it's like music videos. Yeah, so I do dabble in other creative stuff. But yeah, my main thing has been music and has always been music, lah. Yeah.
Since you graduated from school, since you finished NS,
since I graduated
music
from school, since I finished NS, yeah. Right. So I think that whole period of being in school, it gave me the time to kind of like.
What did you study? What did you study in Singapore Polytechnic?
Mass comm.
Mass comm, okay.
Which helped a lot, and it taught me the basics of like journalism, broadcast journalism.
Yeah.
Your video editing, your directing. They didn't teach you how to like direct music videos, but my lecturers, I would take the initiative to like ask them after the lesson, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? I was really, and I love editing. That's something that I love besides music as well. I really love to edit, So I think that helped us all out, like putting out content,
Okay.
And so mass comm, like I think, gave me a huge foundation for me being an artist, Yeah.
And you also run a company, Drink Entertainment.
Yeah, Drink Entertainment.
What is it all about?
So that's an independent label that I started in 2020.
So it's a music label.
It's a music label, and basically we do production as well. Like last year's NDP music video that I directed.
So that was made by your company?
Yeah, my company, and also Royston's company, Chuan.
Right, a collaboration.
Okay. Yeah. So we do music videos as well. We do events also as well. Shows and
what kind of events?
Live shows,
Okay.
We did something with Soho House last year also for NDP. Live shows, we're actually working on some stuff in the next couple months that you probably see soon. But we're putting together like some concerts for like bringing in like overseas acts to like work with some Singapore acts. So I think that and I think that all this time, like I've been doing music independently, like all these years, I just never really I think formalized the whole situation. And I think that in 2020 when the pandemic hit, that was when like I started drink, and then
To do all these other projects.
Yeah, to do all these other
events
stuff and like even some Web3 stuff, like when I released like my NFT.
the NFTs.
Yeah, that was also Drink. And so I think it's we have producers and we work together with different creatives to do just fun stuff. Like, yeah.
All right. Okay, Shigga, we're down to our last question. This is something we always ask all our guests. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years?
Where do I see myself in the next 5 to 10 years? I think you might have asked me this question 10 years ago too, So,
well, I should look back at that article, right?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. 5 to 10 years, I think that I'll still be doing what I do. I hope to still be doing what I do, but on a different scale. Yeah, and
performing, running the company, everything.
Performing, running the company. I think like I guess like pushing the limits of like what an artist, what the definition of an artist from Singapore could be, and I think that also further representing like my culture and my city on a world stage, with music also as well. I think no matter how old I get, I'll still be doing music because it's really something that comes from a place of genuine passion and love. Yeah. So 5 to 10 years, you still see me making music, still rapping, still writing, producing, directing, and yeah.
We're looking forward to that. Thank you, Shigga, for coming on to our show. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you. ST Podcast.
Thanks for watching. And remember to like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to hit the bell icon.